of the hour on a jam-packed Friday with Get Up. To the NBA we go. Let's run the floor. Alan Hahn, Jalen Brunson had 35 points last night. Knicks knock off the Kings, but the huge news, season-ending surgery coming for Julius Randle. What does that mean?
It means that the team that had the best chance to give the Celtics a puncher's chance in the conference finals is now not going to be able to do it. And so the East is wide open for the Celtics. They might as well call it the Boston Invitational at this point. There's no other team that can take them on. This Knicks team at full health had a chance.
I know it's a terrible shame. Austin Rivers is up with us early this morning. Austin, without Randle, what is the Knicks ceiling, do you think? What do you think they can still get done?
Well, I still think they can compete. You know, this is a team that still has a wide variety of guys who can play on both ends of the floor. But without Julius Randle, the ball could get a little sticky in the playoffs. They're going to shrink the floor in Jalen Brunson and make somebody else beat them. You got to hope Josh Hart, DiVincenzo, and some of these other guys, OG, who are all good shooters, not great shooters, make shots. DiVincenzo shot the ball well, but everybody else is kind of, average at best from the three-point land. That game's going to shrink up, man. Yeah. They need Julius.
Really tough news for the Knicks yesterday, although it was expected. Let me go to Golden State. They're one of the hottest teams in the league. They've won 6 consecutive games. Steph and Clay each had 29 as they knock off the Rockets. Austin Rivers, are we starting to believe a little in this Golden State team?
They've been up and down all year. The one thing we know is that playoff time comes. If they are matched up with a young team, if and when they're able to get out of the play-in tournament, if they match up with a seed like OKC or Minnesota, I think we all know that this team is fully capable of beating anybody with their playoff experience.
What do you think, Alan?
I just look at the fact that while you give them great respect, they're in the post-dynasty era now where they're still a really good team that you have to respect. But they are 1-10 against the top 3 teams in the Western Conference this season. So no matter who they match up with, if they do get out of the play-in, they don't match up well against them. OKC, though, with their youth, probably is that one team you could say maybe they could overcome them.
And in the next order of business, we opened the show this morning showing you Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey playing together for the first time since late January. They combined for 66 points. The Sixers with an important win over the Heat, a team that they may very well wind up facing in the play-in. And I have been making a big deal on this show for the last week or so and on the radio. With a healthy Embiid, are the Sixers the biggest threat to the Celtics? Is this a team that could make the deep run? Is this the team that could shock the world and go to the finals? And Alan, I was reading your notes this morning. There's something that needs to be said, and you're just the man to say it.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it for the last 2 days, and we've been talking about this, and I said to myself, wait a second. How can we expect Joel Embiid to do on one leg that he has yet to be able to do on 2 legs, which is get out of the second round of the Eastern Conference? For the last 5 years, that has been the hump he can't get over. Now he's going to do it on one good leg, playing on a knee that has a huge brace on it, getting himself into conditioning. As we know, at the end of the season, each year in the playoffs, you see him. He already looks tired in the playoffs. He looks tired now. Nothing's changed. So what has changed? Brett Brown, Ben Simmons. It was their fault. Okay, Doc Rivers and James Harden. It was their fault. Well, is it going to be Nick Nurse and Tyrese Maxey's fault? This time, what's the one common denominator? It has been Joel Embiid. He is a great player. He's an MVP. There's no question they're a better team with him. But we got to dial it back a little bit with this idea that the Sixers suddenly are the formidable team that can take on the Celtics in the East when Joel Embiid has yet to prove that he can even get to the Eastern Conference.
It's a really interesting take. Austin Rivers, what do you think?
I actually agree. I like Philly as a team. They're obviously much, much better with Joel Embiid. He's an MVP-type player, right? This is a guy who's probably on his way to winning a second MVP, barring no injury. With that being said, when they were fully healthy, even when they had James in addition to this team last year, they weren't able to get over that hump versus a Boston team who looks like they're even more improved this year. So to expect them to go into the playoffs and make a huge run, fresh off of an injury, I actually thought he should have stayed and came back next season fully healthy with all the cap space that they can come into this summer and add. I think next year will be a year we can maybe have that conversation in terms of serious contention. I don't know about right now, but there's nobody else in the East. I don't know who else.
Yeah, somebody's got to get
right
there.
Now,
so that's my question.
Milwaukee
Who is it?
Been,
yeah. Who's the biggest threat, Austin? Right now.
We want it to be Milwaukee.
Who is it?
We want it to be Milwaukee. We want it to be Milwaukee, but we haven't seen it yet. They're never healthy, and when they are healthy, they haven't been consistent enough, especially on defense. They have 0 perimeter defense. So right now, I don't know who that is. I mean, I guess we hope Miami makes another miraculous run and tests somebody. I don't really know. Not in the East.
No, it's no one. Somebody's going to end up in the Eastern Conference Finals. We don't know who because we have to see how it all matches up with the seedings because that hasn't been decided yet. But whoever gets there, the only team that can beat the Celtics are the Celtics. We saw them last year. They play with their food. Yeah. They mess around in series. They do it this season even. They haven't gotten over that yet. They blow big leads. They aren't great down the stretch in games. Maybe they're just getting bored. But the one team that can beat Boston in the East is Boston. No one else.
Crystal ball. Before the finals, will they face a game 6? Will someone take them to 6 games in the East?
I was going to say that. I don't think we'll see a 7 at all. They might see a 6 once,
all right,
maybe.
We'll see. In the meantime, Austin, I have one more question, and I ask on behalf of America. Cindy, can you take that one shot of Austin Rivers for us, please, this morning? Is that a mural of you behind you that we're all looking at? And if so, is it as spectacular as I think it is?
Wow. I got it as a birthday gift for my fiance. She had. Unfortunately, I was a journeyman the last 5 years of my career, so we had too many teams. I couldn't fit them all on this poster. But she did
jersey?
Her best. Yeah.
Listen,
the Knicks didn't make the cut. They didn't make the cut. I wasn't there long enough. And they're lucky DC's on there. I didn't want that on there either. I wanted Denver on there, but makers can't be choosers.
Tell her when my birthday is, because that's an outstanding gift, and I would like one.
Wanna try to boast at what I look like. Think I'm gonna try to wear, I pull up all brains. Jimmy with the heat, I'm on fire. It's NBA on the ESPN.